Hey everybody, I'm Dave Kincaid. Today I'm going to talk to you about whichever city you're in. This is how I would go about finding grants. And we're going to look at it from the different levels of government. So stay tuned and let's jump into the video. I hope you'll find this video rather interesting. And that is the idea of, I'm going to try to blend how you find grants, where grants are located, also perhaps why it's a bit confusing. But I'm going to break this down. I know some of you are in the United States. I'm in Canada, so I'm going to balance this. I'm going to show you 6 grants, 3 in the US, 3 in Canada. And regardless of where you are, it's likely a similar scenario. So to set the stage here, I want you to think about the different levels of government. Now, you may not have a political science degree, but you know that we have federal governments, right? You see Trudeau in Canada and obviously Trump in the news a lot having conversations. So you've got the federal government typically responsible for things like currency, military, things like that. Then you've got your state or provincial government, which, obviously makes sense. For this video, I'm going to show you grants at the state and provincial level. So we're going to use Alberta and in this case, Illinois. I thought we'd have like an Oilers, Blackhawks themed video. And I could say Flames too, but I'm an Oilers fan. Sorry, Calgary. And then finally, so you've got your federal, your provincial, and then as I just mentioned, we'll have some municipal grants. And the idea of the city of Chicago will have grants and the city of Edmonton will have grants. So as you begin this journey, start to figure out, okay, I'm looking for grants. What city am I in? So start thinking that way. It's like, okay, there's municipal grants, probably. There's provincial and there's federal. And in general, they can kind of be as you might expect. Oftentimes the municipal ones will be like, hey, we want to clean up an area of town. So we'll give you storefront grants, which if you're a small business owner can be, pretty cool. Provincially, I'm going to show you things like tourism because they want to attract people to their state or their province. And then federally, I've got a couple examples like national art type things. So let's jump into this and let's start with our friends in Chicago. So on Chicago, you can go chicago.gov.city and you'll see here, just Google grants. There's the URL. I'll put it in the link below. But check this out. So you've got Office of Budget, Grant Administration, $4.6 billion. Grant funding provides key housing, mental health, senior youth services to City of Chicago residents. And then you'll go through and look at all these grants. So these are sort of the root data of grants, if you will, okay? So some people are like, I need a list of grants. Well, you can start with, hey, what city am I in? And go to the city website and start looking at things. And it's the same thing if you're in Canada. Here we are. This is the city of Edmonton. Grants and funding, right? Make this a bit bigger. They even got a nice search engine. But look at this. Business improvement area grants. So it's kind of interesting, eh? You'd sometimes think, hey, it's for like youth or something. But you can actually, especially if you're like on the brick and mortar space, like a barbershop, a bakery. There's not a lot of grants for that, right? But cities sometimes will give you facade improvement. It's actually pretty cool. Get a sign. So that's the first phase of this video, the idea of your municipality. So whatever municipality you are in watching this, I would say, maybe pause the video, Google the city you're in, Google grants, maybe leave a comment, throw the link down below, and let's see the grants in your city. It'd be kind of cool to see that. Hopefully we'll get some interest in that. And by all means, if you've liked this content, feel free to subscribe to this channel and I'll keep it coming, and like the video and let me know, if you'd want more of these. All right, let's go to the state level. Now, let's switch it up. This time we'll stay in Alberta, but this is Travel Alberta, right? Programs and services. Again, sometimes they're not called grants, which can be a bit confusing, but I explain that more or get into that more in my course. I teach an advanced grant writing course. I won't get into it now, but it can be tricky, okay? So, but just know when you see that, it can often mean grants. And check this out. Product Development Fund, right? $75,000. Again, sometimes they're not really clear. Like it should just say grant, but you know, welcome to grants. They speak governmentese. Okay. So you got to navigate. So this would be a tourism. Let's go over to Illinois. Our friends, look at this. So we're on the government website, Department of Commerce. And then the first one, Route 66 grant program. Deadline coming up January 8th. Move it, move it, move it. We're like, what are we today? The 2nd. Providing grants to certified convention and visitors bureaus for development of tourism, education, preservation, and on it goes. So again, you can see all the different programs here. Pretty cool. Oh, check that out. Jobs. Oh, I could go on. I could really get distracted here, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool. So find your city, find your state, and then of course nationally, we will go back to Canada. If you're in the arts space, they have the Canada Council for the Arts, funding a little bit better, grants, pile of grants there, and in the U.S. National Endowment for the Arts. You can see arts.gov grants, and you can see arts funder. Then he is the only arts funder in the United States. So it's kind of cool. So as you begin your journey of finding money, of course you should go a bit deeper than this. One is what city, what state, and then the federal grants in your space. But then you should start thinking about who are the people I need to meet. Locally elected representatives, state or provincial politicians. In Canada, where I'm based, we've got MLAs, what they're called, the members of the Legislative Assembly, and cabinet ministers who will run some of these programs, and then members of parliament federally. So, remember, it's taxpayer money, and so, it's always advisable to know who's who in the zoo when it comes to your elected representatives. That way, if you ever have a problem reaching these people, you can always seek their offices for help, maybe letters of support, things like that. So I hope this helps you. It's kind of cool. So like I said, in the comment section, if you feel so inclined, I'd love to see what city you're in watching this, and maybe drop a grant that interests you or the link to the grants in your city. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's all I've got for this week. I hope you have a great one, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.